Alrighty, take three. Hopefully we are live this time and streaming. Now we had a couple of false starts, a couple of false attempts at starting this Properties and Beers. If you're watching, come drop a line, say hi. Hopefully, time three, we are great. Now, today I wanted to chat to you about barbecue advice and legacy. We're coming into the Christmas period, and you're invariably going to be surrounded, especially in Australia, with the family barbecue or the friendly barbecue, and also something has happened on a personal level, which I wanted to share with you tonight. And so, let's get started with properties and not beers today, and I'll share why in just a moment. So, have you ever noticed that around Christmas, everyone suddenly becomes a property expert at barbecue, and the advice just gets louder and more urgent, and somehow it's always about what's already happened. Now, if you've ever walked away from barbecue feeling more confused about property than when you arrived, well, hey, here's the thing, you're not alone. Tonight, it's a little bit different. I'm not having beers, and I'm still within my grandma's mourning period. She passed away last week, and I'll share with you some of the lessons I learned from her. And it just feels right not to actually have any beers. So today we're doing properties and not beers, more of a quieter conversation and even a more grounded one. And what we're having today is we've got some sodally, guava, right? Prebiotic soft drink. Just treat it like a vodka seltzer minus a vodka. Guava flavor, always my favorite, and I think my grandma's favorite as well. So let's get started, guys. Whether you're watching live or on the replay, thank you for spending a bit of your time with me. And for those that don't know me, my name is Gaurav Gupta. I'm the founder of Ethical Property Investments. We help everyday Aussies make thoughtful property decisions built around strong cash flow, long-term thinking, and doing the right thing for society at the same time. And today's conversation really has two parts. The first is what I call barbecue advice, why that often misses the mark, especially at this time of year. And the second is a little bit more personal. It's where our values come from and why ethics, patience, and responsibility matters so much in how we invest. Now, if you've ever felt the pressure to do something with property just because others sound confident, well, this one might just be for you, right? And it might be the opposite of what some of these other advisors advise you. So, let's firstly chat about barbecue advice and why it often misses the mark. Christmas, hey, how's it going? So I've just noticed someone say hi. Now we've got two screens happening, and I can't always see who's having a chat with me. So if you're on LinkedIn saying howdy, come say hi again. So let's get started. Christmas is an interesting time. You've got gatherings, conversations, maybe a few drinks, and suddenly everyone's got a strong opinion on property. You should have bought in Perth. My mate doubled his money with Airbnb. Property always doubles every 7 years. And you know what? Most of these people, they mean well. Good intentions are everywhere. But here's the thing. Good intentions don't make a strategy work. Most of this advice is retrospective. And it's about what already ran hard. It's not about timings, number, or context. And property investing gets risky when decisions are made on stories instead of strategy. So one question I always come back to is this advice based on something reputable, or is it just a story a salesperson is trying to sell you? Because stories do sound convincing. We use them in everyday lives, right? Christmas itself is a story that's 2,000 years old. And the difference is properties, they should be based on strategies. Strategies hold up over time. Some common ones to pause on and really think about is, I get this one like, any property is better than no property. Well, those are comforting words, but investing, I believe, should be about alignment, cash flow resilience, and timing. And the other one I get is, this area is booming, you're missing out. Here's the thing, by the time something feels obvious, the preparation phase is already behind us. You've got to look towards experts to actually figure out what could be the next boom, not what's already booming or what's boomed over the last 2 or 3 years, right? I'm seeing people going, oh, let's invest in Perth. I personally believe the market's already run there, right? Best time to invest in Perth was 2 or 3 years ago. And what about this other one? I get this one about Airbnbs. Short-term rentals are the smartest play right now. What often gets skipped on that is regulation, consistency, and the emotional load of constant damn management. Trust me, as an Airbnb owner myself, I know what it takes to manage a short-term rental, and they are not easy to manage, even if you've got a manager in place. And here's the thing: we've got places like Brisbane, for example, who've said, hey, we're now going to really regulate Airbnbs. Singapore's already regulated. The writing's on the wall. So unless you've got an approved short-term management where the council's basically approved it, probably stay away from that. But, most people won't tell you that, especially not Airbnb managers. And probably the most common one I get all the time is, my mate did this and it worked. Oh, unfortunately, that is not a strategy. That's one outcome at one moment under one set of conditions. Good investing, my friends, isn't about copying someone else's results. It's about understanding your own position, your own timing, and your own tolerance. And yes, learning from those who've trodden the path before you. And not just believing a story, but actually go, okay, what did you do? And how does it apply in my specific scenario? And that's why in ethical property investments, we kind of spend very little time talking about what already ran. We focus on where the demand, data, cash flow durability, and whether decisions still make sense 5 or 10 years from now. And just as importantly, we care about impact. Who lives in these homes? Who benefits? And whether the decision still feels right while the noise fades, right? It's where the proper advice looks very different to barbecue advice. I'm going to have some more of this drink. Because next topic is a little bit more serious. By the way, if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at seeing all the chats that I'm getting up. Second one's a little bit more personal. These are lessons from my grandma. So I wanted to share something deeply personal, and that's my grandmother actually passed away last week. Some of you in the Facebook world know this, and personal life know this. And over the past few days, I've been reflecting on the way she lived and the lessons she gave to us, because lessons will live forever, no matter where her soul is, right? And I believe that she had a strong sense of responsibility to others. She believed if you had the ability to help, you had a duty to do it properly. And in many ways, ethical property investments exist because of this mindset. It is about standing up for people that don't have a voice. It is about decisions that don't just work on paper, but feel right when you step back and look at the bigger picture. Hey, those that don't know about my grandma, she was a strong supporter of civil rights, to a point where she actually went to jail for her beliefs, just to make sure that she believed in things so strongly that she believed it was a civic sense and a duty to do the right thing. And that's why we've always aimed to build a family-based culture, not a corporate one, over here at Ethical Property Investments. And, we even invited our clients and their families over to our Christmas party a couple of weeks ago. And why we never really rush people into decisions that don't suit their stage of life. It's really important to say this out loud. Not everyone needs to buy a property right now, right? And that might be something that you might be going, Gora, but you're in the property game. Well, you know what? Not everyone needs to buy a property right now. You do it if it's right for you. You don't do it if you don't do it if it's not right for you. And just like I was speaking to someone today, hey, look, let me send you over the due diligence. If it makes sense, let's chat. If it doesn't, that's cool too. Because honestly, you'll know if buying a property is right for you. And if you're after the cheapest property, you're probably not in the right place. But if you're after the best property, let's have a chat. That's sort of what our philosophy is. Because at the end of the day, some people are ready to move forward and others just want clarity. Both are totally valid. Ethical investing, I believe, means that respecting everyone's journey is different. It means knowing when to act and knowing when's actually waiting is the wiser move, right? As Tony Robbins often says, the quality of your life is shaped by the quality of decisions you make and the state you make them in. Pressure sometimes creates rushed decisions. Clarity creates powerful ones. And that's my key point. I really encourage you over this Christmas period to find out what is clarity. Do some soul searching over your New Year's resolution. Okay, what is clarity? What do I actually want? And that, my friends, should guide you to a much, much better place. And so let's look ahead with intention. As we wrap up the year, I want to leave you with this thought. Throughout 2025, we supported clients at many different stages of their journey. Some took their first steps, others just wanted reassurance before doing anything at all. In every case, the focus stayed the same: thoughtful planning, steady progress, and decisions made at the right time for the individual. As we move into 2026, I believe it's a great moment to really think about your long-term freedom and independence and how property can really support that in a grounded and practical way. Because property, I believe, deserves a place on your goals list because it creates options, and options honestly creates peace of mind, right? So whether it's this year, next year, whenever it is, I encourage you to look at property being on your goals list if it's not already, right? Or is it your second, third, or even 10th property, right? Now, before I jump off, a quick note. Many people watching regularly haven't followed our page yet, which means you might be missing out on some cool content we're going to be sharing each week around strategy, timing, and long-term thinking, as well as our property of the week, right? A lot of people look forward to what our property of the week is. Now, if you want to stay informed and guided, make sure you follow Ethical Property Investments on Facebook and Instagram. And, here's what I'll leave you with, right? Choose people who take responsibility seriously. Choose clarity over noise. Choose progress that feels right. What I'd like to leave you with, for our official close of Properties and Beers, I will be doing another unofficial one. Thank you for spending this time with me throughout the year. Enjoy the festive season and really take care of one another. Let's make 2026 a year of thoughtful progress and opportunity. Do good and make money. Cheers, guys.